Making wise decisions about your money can pay off in the future, but for many, it can be hard to decide exactly what those smart money moves are.
That's why our money expert, Rubina Ahmed-Haq, is here to break it down for us this morning. What we can do today to secure a healthier financial future. Rubina, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, maybe there's two types of people in this world when it comes to investing, those who plan and those who don't, right?
Exactly. And those who plan, so those who set financial systems in place, be it an emergency fund, be it setting up long-term savings, be it life insurance, they're the ones that tend to do better in the long run when it comes to reaching their financial goals and living that more financially well life.
Okay. All right. So let's get started. What are the three things someone can do now that will help them financially in their future?
So you want to first set up an emergency fund. So this means 3 to 6 months of money in an account that is easily accessible, that would fund your life if something was to happen to your income. So you could still pay your rent, your mortgage, your household expenses. You also want to be able to know where all your documents are. So you want to have what sometimes people call a death folder, which sounds really morbid, but it really is a folder that has all of your important information in it. So it would be your passwords, where the accounts are, where all the utility bills are paid out of. And this is something that you could put together, which would then help your dependents if they were left without you. And then, of course, the big one, life insurance, making sure that you have proper life insurance that would cover any costs that were left behind if you weren't there. That's going to set you really up for a legacy of financial success.
Does your death folder have like a skull and crossbones on it?
No, I think it should be like a nice, beautiful folder that would make the whole process a little bit more light. I think so, yeah.
Okay, you mentioned life insurance. Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so Senior's Choice is a great place to go if you want to look at life insurance options, especially if you are older. So between 40 and 80 years old, you can get up to $250,000 in insurance. And this is money that can be used for a lot of expenses that we don't anticipate immediately after someone passes away. Of course, there's the funeral expenses and the debts, but even someone may be in grief and not be able to return to work. And so they've got that money and they can take time away to deal with their own grief, but they know that their finances are taken care of. So that's a really important piece of really setting yourself up for financial success for your life and even beyond.
Okay. So let's talk about the idea of coverage and how much we actually need.
So this depends on your life, your lifestyle. Of course, if you live a very luxurious lifestyle, you might need more coverage if you have a more modest lifestyle. So this really depends on your own numbers. But the most important thing is to have some money set aside. Because remember, life insurance payouts are tax-free. So every dollar comes to that beneficiary and they can use it as they wish. And oftentimes, if you leave assets behind, they can be more complicated to disperse. But life insurance policies can often come to you a lot faster, those payments. And so that's money that someone can depend on in the immediate future after someone passes away. So that's something to think about, again, looking at Senior's Choice as one of those options. If you are thinking, well, maybe I'm too old for life insurance, this is something that you can look at that will definitely give you some options that suit your lifestyle and your budget.
All right, just finally, you've got one last tip for us?
Yeah, so I love talking to people about making some plans in the future, but sort of setting some goalposts. So a 5, 10, 15 years. And so your 5-year financial goal may be to buy a bigger home. So maybe you're raising your family and you want to buy a bigger home. So that's your 5-year plan. Your 10-year plan may be to have a fully funded retirement savings plan. And so that could be your 10-year plan. And your 15-year plan could maybe be that I can send my kids off to university and that they can afford to go to any school that they choose. So these are, if you make those plans, and even if they shift and change and maybe they don't come at the same time that you had expected, at least you've made those plans and that you know that you've got something that you're working towards, rather than just sort of thinking, I'll just see how it goes. Because I think that's when people really end up financially insecure because they don't have any systems in place to support them.
See how it goes is not a plan, right?
See how it goes is never a plan, especially when it comes to your finances.
Not making a plan is still a plan.
Yeah.
All right. Great advice as always. Thank you, Rubina.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
This portion of the morning show is brought to you by Senior's Choice. To learn more, call 1-844-997-1011.